Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Brian with another knife review for you. Today we have a new knife and a totally new brand to me. This is the Artisan Cutlery Shark. This comes in several different versions. The version I'm reviewing here today is the least expensive one, $49.95. This is the G-10 D2 blade version, the biggin. This is a full-on 4-inch blade. This is a very large, long, slim, slender, yet powerful, that's what she said, knife. Brand new company, and I gotta say, first impressions are can't wait to get my hands on more of them. You're gonna see a whole lot of, if you haven't already seen a whole lot of reviews about Artisan Cutlery stuff. This is a company that just kind of came out of the blue with a whole lot of different models, some really super crazy, some really kind of more normal. All of their models come in a million different colors and configurations, which I think is pretty cool. You can definitely choose what you want. As I said, this is the black G10 with the D2 blade. You can also get it in a carbon fiber with S35 VN for like 105. You can get it in a titanium carbon fiber S35 for like 160. And you can also get it in a for 180. And then for 160, you can get a 3-inch version. But that only comes in the titanium fancy pants version that I could see. I do kind of wish I could have gotten the D2 one like this in the shorter version, because this is a bit large, but the construction and the quality on this is so good that I don't really feel the need to get the expensive one, except for that I would kind of like the shorter blade. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's talk more about this. Let's do some stats before we get too much farther. We have an overall length of 9 inches. As I said, this is a very long knife. You have a blade length of 4 inches. Blade thickness of 0.15 inches, handle thickness of dead on half an inch, and a weight of 4.3 ounces. So 4.3 ounces, not a lightweight by any means, but this is a big one. So that's really not too bad at all. Let's do some size comparisons, and it's going to lead into a bit of a conversation about the quality of this knife, if you just bear with me for a minute. We have your standard, and I always use your Spyderco Paramilitary 2. It is, as you can see, significantly longer than a PM2, obviously much more slender. We're going to use I don't use this for size comparisons much, I probably should, but this is the Bird Cara 2, which you can imagine is an Endura if you want, a Spyderco Endura if you want, because they're almost exactly identical in all kinds of sizes and stuff. And another big knife, the Buck 110. So just a little bit longer than a Buck 110, so pretty big knife. Now the last one I'm going to use for a size comparison and also for a bit of a quality comparison, which is going to kind of get my review a bit out of order, but we'll deal with it. This is the Bestech Paladin. This is longer than a Paladin, obviously. The reason why I use this is their Artisan Cutlery's pricing pretty similar to Bestech's. A lot of their specs pretty similar to Bestech. A lot of G10 D2, a lot of titanium S35, a lot of those kind of same prices and materials being used. Now, quality-wise, would I say it's better than a Bestech? I in a couple ways, yes. In a couple glaring ways, no. But really good. It's as good as. I'll say it's as good as, which is a big deal coming straight out the gate. Bestech's been around for a while. They put a whole lot of work into stuff. But as far as, the action, the tolerances, the fit and finish actually on this initially feels better. They're about the same price, $49.95, $52. Fit and finish just in your hand initially. This feels like a more expensive knife. I'll say that. But some little things that... Bestech has gone through some iterations, but now they're using really good pivots that are, locking, all that good stuff. Artisan Cutlery does not use a locking pivot, and not only do they not use a locking pivot, they use this weird thing where you have to use 2 screwdrivers and hold it in, and it's a real pain in the ass. I already marked it once and decided not to go further and to try and take it apart anymore, because it really doesn't need it, but I wanted to just out of idle curiosity, and kind of wish I hadn't, because I put a little mark on it. I got that far, I said forget it, tightened it back down, and didn't bother taking it apart because I don't want to mess it up. But is a lot of ways it's as nice as a Best Tech. In a few ways, it's not. Well, in a lot of ways, it's nicer than a Best Tech. In some ways, it's not as nice as a Best Tech. But I definitely like the overall design on this better. But that's a completely different. These are not comparable knives. This isn't. This is a hard-working, everyday user kind of knife. This is kind of a hard-working, large, gentlemanly folder kind of knife. But yeah, it's. I'm impressed so far. I really am. And this is the cheap one. So I would like to get one of the more expensive ones and try that out. And Artisan Cutlery is moving so fast and doing so many designs. If they're like Best Tech had listened to everybody, and Best Tech made a lot of changes, and I think that was great. I bet Artisan Cutlery will do the same thing. They seem to be able to react really, really quickly. I mean, they show prototypes at shows, and then they're out. So they seem to, I don't know who's making them and what they're, I know they're making them themselves, but I mean, I just don't know how they're doing it so quickly, but they are very quick to react. So hopefully, if we make some suggestions as a community, they're quick to react to that too. But as I said, let's talk about the design of this knife. Yes, it is a big, long, sticky kind of knife, and I like that. It is very cool looking for sure. It is very slick looking. It's a bit big for me, a full 4 inches on a knife like this. I think the 3-inch one, as I said, would be preferable, but I didn't want to drop the bucks on the titanium one for my first one. I wanted to get a feel for the design. The action on it is fantastic. It is amazing. That's one thing that it feels nicer than a comparable Best Tech. I've had Best Techs that fall shut that easy, but I haven't had any that felt this smooth. It's just super smooth, except for the really high-end Best Techs feel like this. So this is the cheap one, and it feels like a high-end Kaiser. It feels like a high-end. It's not quite Riot good. I'm not going to say that, but it feels like a medium Wii. I mean, it's really great. It is running on ceramic ball bearings, ceramic detent, all those things as you expect from a lot of these newfangled Chinese companies. You have a G-10 backspacer, blue. You can get it in a million different colors. As I said, I'm not going to go through all of them. That is Artisan's kind of trademark right now, is everything comes in a bunch of crazy cool colors. This is the most subdued one. The blue liners look good. I don't mind that they're coated. It's most of them are steel, so they're just coated. They're not titanium. They're not anodized, but they look good. They look cool. It goes well with the black. Very nice deep carry pocket clip you have here. It sits in the pocket super well, and it is super narrow, so it's kind of odd in a carry sense, though, I will say. Very slim, so you'd think, oh, it's going to go... And then the flipper tab doesn't seem to stick out that much, but I don't know what there is about that flipper tab. You slide right past it, reach into your pocket, and then you get all the way down, and you get to that flipper tab, and man, it feels really annoying, and I don't know why. It's small. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe it's just because it's a straight up and down, angle of the pocket clip. Maybe it was angled just a bit off. That would alleviate that just a little bit, but not a big deal by any means. Just something to note. Ergonomically, it's great. This is a very comfortable knife. I will say the ramp up here has the potential to cause some hot spots, but you don't feel it because the handle's just so damn big that if you do, you just kind of move your hand a little bit and you still have a good grip on the knife. So it's super easy to avoid. And this G10, I love the texture on the G10. It looks almost like, the Spyderco Taichung carbon fiber laminate, but it is not. It is just G10, but the way they did it, it looks really pretty, and the grip is just right. Just that perfect amount of just enough grip without making it hard to slide in and out of your pocket or tear your pockets up at all. It's very nice. There's no jimping on it, but I don't really feel that it needs it. You got a good guard here. You're pretty well locked in. That G10 provides good traction. So zero complaints as far as the ergonomics go. I will say the blade is, as I said, 0.15 inches thick. So pretty thick blade, and also pretty thick behind the edge. I was getting between like 30 thousandths back here up to 28 up near the tip. So it is a bit thick behind the blade. You can see it's just a flat grind that isn't very high. This is not a slicing machine. It did come super sharp out of the box, though. I have no complaints about the sharpening job on it. But it's not a super slicer. It's not something you're going to go attack acres of cardboard with. but I don't think that's really the design of this knife. But overall, I have to say, pretty impressed with my first experience with Artisan Cutlery, and especially I like, it's a stupid little thing, but I know people don't care about the boxes, but we're going to talk about it. The box is really nice, very hard construction box, and if I can get it open here, which is always fun to do on camera. I don't know why I don't open these ahead of time. I do love the bag it comes with. It's super classy looking, isn't that? These nice little gold ropes and little gold Artisan Cutlery embroidered. It's pretty slick. I do really like that. It looks like something a very tiny bottle of expensive liquor would come in, doesn't it? But I have to say, they've made a very good first impression on me, and they're brand new out the gate. Yeah, there are a few things I wish were different about it, but I love the look of it. I think it's a very cool looking knife. It's classy yet extremely intimidating, and I kind of like that. That's kind of cool. I don't like the pivot. I really hope they change that. But the design overall is really good. The action is fantastic. Detent's perfect. Those bearings are so smooth. I hope they don't change a thing about that. But I can't wait to get my hands on a more expensive one. I'm probably going to email them and ask them nicely if they would like to send me a more expensive one to review. It's a super, super cool knife, and I'm glad to see this new company on board. I was kind of skeptical at first, I admit, as I think a lot of people were, but after now having one in my hands, I wanted to go ahead and buy one and not just get one on loan. I just went and bought one, and that's why I got the cheaper one, and it's made an excellent first impression. So can't wait to see more out of them. They do have a lot more normal designs. They came out with so many designs, guys. It's insane. I think they came out the gate with like, I don't know. I think it's like 12 different knives, something like that. It's a crazy amount of knives, but can't wait to get my hands on another one. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. I've been Brian. Have a good one.